Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Bree. Guys, I know I have been gone for a few weeks and I took a little break because I have been giving you guys back-to-back recaps on about 3 shows for 6 months straight. And after Potomac, I definitely needed a break. So I was like, you know what? I need a little break. There wasn't really another show I really wanted to recap. I'm the type of person that it has to be a show that really, really interests me. It's not something that, okay, I just want to put out a video and recap it. It has to be something that I really enjoy watching, that I really want to, review for you guys. So that's kind of where I've been. I kind of just needed a little break. So it's been about probably 4 weeks. And, I decided, hey, I'm just going to come on and give my thoughts and my reviews on certain shows that I've been watching, but not necessarily give you episode by episode recap, but kind of talk about the show in totality so far. So that's kind of, what I'm going to do here. So thank you guys for sticking in there with me. I'm back. So I'm not going to say I'm recapping this entire show or that entire show until certain shows that I fully recap the entire season comes back on. So like, for instance, Atlanta, I'm going to recap. Potomac, I'm going to recap. Ready to Love, I'm going to recap. And then any other show that I feel like, oh, okay, I kind of want to do my commentary reviews on this show. But so far I haven't found a show that I really just want to recap episode by episode. It has to be something I really, really want. I was thinking about The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Should I recap this season? You guys, tell me what you think below. Tell me, do you want me to recap The Real Housewives of New Jersey? So far, they're in episode 3. I mean, I could just start from the next episode. But yeah, let me know down below if you guys want me to review and recap Real Housewives of New Jersey, and then I'll do so for you guys. But until my other shows come back on that I fully recap their season, I'm just gonna pop on and give my thoughts and opinions and actually review like maybe a certain episode of a show or something I feel strongly that I want to talk to you guys about. So yeah, but anyway, I'm here, guys, today to discuss. We're just going to talk about it. I just felt like talking about it. Today, I'm here to discuss Summer House, Martha's Vineyard, Season 2, Episode 10, titled Reunion. All right, y'all, let's get into it. All right, guys, so for those who don't know, Summer House, Martha's Vineyard is basically a reality show on Bravo where basically a group of African Americans, my Black people, that's what's up. They're in basically a house together in the summer, and they go to Martha's Vineyard, and basically they party, they got drama, and they also give us kind of Black history moments on the show of what the island, how it was consist of, how it was formed, all those things. So basically that's what it is. So we just gonna get right into this reunion. So we start this episode off with all cast members sitting down with Andy, and y'all, they're at the Watch What Happens Live Clubhouse set. And I was kind of disappointed because I'm like, first of all, you give all these other shows, Andy and Bravo, you guys give all these other shows an actual reunion set. Why did you guys, I feel like, downplayed this cast by having them come into the clubhouse? I didn't like that. And I'm saying, like, dag, y'all couldn't even give them a nice set. And I think I heard from some people that, Bravo wouldn't even pay certain things for the cast that they would normally do on another show. And I'm not feeling that. I really just thought, to me, it was kind of tacky. That's just my opinion. I didn't like the fact that they had them in the clubhouse. I almost feel like it was degrading. Like, oh, okay, this show is just so beneath us that we can't even build them a set. I didn't like that at all. But anyway, so let me name for y'all everybody who was there. Preston was there, Jordan, Summer, Jasmine, Noelle, Alex, Nick, Amir, I'm missing Shanice, and Bria. So those were the 10 cast members. Those are like the main cast on the show. So they were all there, right, on set. So Andy says hi to everyone. He's just making his rounds. You know how he does on reunions, just saying hi. So the first thing we see is a flashback of the whole drama that happened between Summer, Alex, and Noelle. So basically, let me just give you guys a little frame. So the flashback basically shows how Summer basically lets everybody know in the house that her and Alex had sex. She said something about like, oh, you didn't invite the person who you were inside of. And she was saying that to Alex because Alex was talking about this particular music set that he had and he didn't invite certain people. And so that's why she got mad at him. And then also too, Noelle was feeling Alex and Alex was feeling Noelle too. And so basically Noelle and Summer were friends. And Noelle wanted to know, like, hey, is it cool if I talk to old dude? And Summer's like, I mean, yeah, but just let you know we had sex. And so Noelle was like, well, I didn't know y'all had sex. And we're going to leave it at that. So that's where kind of the flashback is. So Andy asked Alex, who ended things between you and Summer? And so Alex says, well, I communicated that, it just wasn't for me. And so Summer chimes in. She's like, okay, first of all, that's a lie. So yeah, just to let you guys know, Alex and Summer, they were never in a relationship. They just were together physically in that way. And I feel as though Summer had an issue with it. She can try to say it was all casual if she wants to, but she felt away just by her actions on the show. And you guys can go back and watch if you haven't. But if you have, you guys know what I'm talking about. So that's why basically Andy's asking Alex that question.
And this is how it felt.
Really?
She's explaining it to you.
Yeah, I'm just saying really.
So after Summer says that it was a lie, she goes on to say, first of all, the situationship between me and Alex fizzled out. And then Alex says, well, I had a conversation with her that I wasn't interested in anything anymore. And I thought that we were good after that conversation. So Andy reads a question from the viewers asking Summer, why did she feel the need to tell everyone that Alex was inside her? And why couldn't she directly tell Noelle that? Because Noelle didn't even know that they slept together. So Summer says, well, I did tell Noelle. And then y'all, immediately Noelle cut her off. She was like, no, you didn't. That's a lie. So Summer tells Andy that she told Noelle the day before they got into the house that she and Alex had been hanging out, but that they were just friends. And she assumed that Noelle knew what she meant. And I'm like, first of all, now you need to stop, Summer, because how do you say to somebody, oh, yeah, me and so, we're just friends. That does not make anybody assume that you had sex with someone. So if you had said like, oh, we hooked up, then I could see where you could say, I just automatically assumed that she thought what I meant. But not when somebody says, oh, me and Alex are just cool, we're just friends. Most people in our mind are not thinking, oh, that means you guys got together in that way. So you need to stop. And I don't know how that equates to you and Alex being intimate. My thing is, Summer, just take the L. Just be like, you know what? I should have let Noelle know what the real deal was between me and Alex. My bad. I'm sorry. You should have just did that. So anyway, then Summer says that Noelle said that she would never talk to a guy that her friend has talked to. So Noelle's like, wait a minute. Hold up. Let me tell you. She said, first of all, I was not pursuing Alex after I found out that Summer slept with him. And so they get into this whole spiel. And so then Alex chimes in. He's like, I just want to set the record straight that I'm not an F-boy. And if I was, I could have totally got with Noelle like that.
definitely a no for me, dog. The voice is just not there.
And I'm like, first of all, that was uncalled for you to even say that, Alex. Like, I don't even know why you're saying that. So basically, he was saying that he wasn't trying to disrespect Noelle, but he was just saying, if I really was that dude, I could have, like, made a move on her or whatever. But the reason why I don't like him saying that, he was trying to make it seem, I don't think he was trying to make it seem, but it comes off as though you're saying that Noelle was an easy target for you to get at. And no, I don't like that. And so, first of all, let's be clear. Just because you're not overt with the stereotypical actions of an F-boy doesn't mean how you move and how you go about things in sleeping with women without a commitment doesn't mean you're not. You may not have like a stereotypical like actions of an F-boy. It doesn't negate the fact that you could actually be. I ain't calling the man an F-boy. I'm just letting y'all know my opinion on that. So anyway, y'all. So Andy asks Noelle and Summer, where do they stand now? And they both reply saying that they're just cordial. So y'all can tell there's no friendship there. Like, it's done. So next, Andy starts talking to Amir about how Natalie doesn't trust him. And so Amir says that, she trusts me, but we are building trust because we've only been together for a year. So they started talking about Natalie, and we'll go more into depth about her because I have some thoughts on that. But basically, Amir goes on and on making excuses for his girlfriend when Andy brings up the comment that she made regarding how he makes, Andy brings up the comment that she made regarding how Amir makes in a year what she makes a month. Basically, Natalie embarrassed him when they were at some party. I think it was Preston's party. So it was at an event that one of the guys in the house threw. And Natalie was talking to I think she was talking to some of the housemates or some other people there. But basically she said, I make more money than Amir. What I make in a month, he makes in a year. Basically trying to play him out and embarrass him in front of people. And to me, if you're in a relationship and you love this person, why in the world would you do that? I don't like when people embarrass their significant other, their spouse, their boyfriend or girlfriend in public like that. And I feel like you was trying to throw one off on him. And so that's why Andy brought up that situation. And so, of course, Amir's making excuses for her. And so Andy basically starts playing Amir out with questions regarding Natalie. Because it's like, dude, we all can see, like, she doesn't respect you. But we gonna get back to that. So, we flash back to a scene of Summer going off on people in the house. And if you guys know, you'll go back to the episodes. Summer kind of got into it with a lot of people there. She got into it with Noelle, Alex, Jordan. She just has been going through a lot. And she's just taking her anger out on people. So after they do the flashback of that, Andy asks her how she's doing. So Summer starts crying and she says that she's not making excuses for her actions, but she was just going through a lot. And on the show, she was talking about how her grandmother had surgery or, health issues at this time. She talked about how her mom, they didn't really have a good relationship because I don't think her mom really raised her like that. Then she talked about how she didn't know who her father was. So she was just battling a lot of things internally, and that was causing her to act out. So she's talking to Andy and she says that, she's just scared to be vulnerable because people have left her in the past. And that's probably one of the reasons why she didn't talk to anybody about her issues, because of her feeling that way. So in a new scene, the segment turns to Bria and Preston's relationship. And so earlier in the season, Preston and Bria got into an argument. And so that's what Andy's kind of talking to them about. So Preston says that he looks at Bria like a sibling. And so Bria says, well, I always felt like you always shaded me. And I feel like you always singled me out a lot of the times. So Preston says, well, I find that to be a little unfair because when you had that moment overseas in France, I called international attorneys for you, I guess to kind of like get help. Backstory of that, y'all, in case y'all don't know. Bria got arrested in France. She was with her boyfriend, Simon. I forgot what the reason was, but basically on some racist stuff. And Preston is saying, you know, to kind of help you out in that situation, I was calling international attorneys for you to get you additional information in regards to your rights. And so Preston says, you know, I feel like I've done a lot for you that wasn't even filmed. So Bria says, well, when we're filming, it's a different story. It's like you kind of act different. So Preston says, well, Simon was there with you in France and he wasn't even supporting you. And so Bria said, yes, he was. He was the one that got me out of jail. So Preston says, you know, you never even said thank you to me for me getting in contact with international attorneys for you. So Bria's like, yes, I did. Of course I did. So basically, it was really nothing there. They just don't see eye to eye on certain things. And so next we started talking about Bria and her man. So Bria says that the long distance between she and Simon has hurt their relationship. So, okay, I'm going back and forth between episodes so you guys kind of know what Andy's talking about. So basically, towards the end of the season, Nick had a party, and he dedicated his party to his late friend that had passed away. And also, it was basically, you had to dress up for this party. So Simon is there. Simon kind of gets drunk, and he puts on this flamingo costume, embarrassing Bria. Bria goes off on him in the episode, and that's pretty much there. So Andy asked Bria, you know, why did you make such a fuss about the flamingo costume? So Bria replies saying that Nick dedicated his party to his late friend and it was supposed to be professional. And I asked Simon not to wear that costume. So she said, you know, he thought he was the stuff when he was there and he was just going to do what he wanted to do. And that wasn't cool. That wasn't the time nor place for him to be acting silly doing that. So that's why she flipped out on him. And I'm just like, with Bria, y'all, like, let me say this. Bria has a lot of growing up to do. I think she definitely has some maturing to do. And I don't like the fact when it was that episode when she went off on him about the flamingo costume, you're sitting here threatening him like, oh, I'm going to break up with you if you don't take this off. That is so childish to me. Bria, honestly, at times she irritates me. She needs to mature and develop and just grow up. So anyway, so Andy tells Bria that he heard a rumor that there's a few of her castmates that think that Simon is using her for clout because she's on the show. So Bria defends him. She's like, first of all, that's not even true. You know, Simon is a multimillionaire and doesn't use me for clout. Do I think he likes my job because I'm on a reality TV show? Yes. And it's only because in Germany, they don't have reality TV. And so Andy's like, but isn't that using you for clout?
Hold on, wait, let me fix my wig and myself, because I'm so tired of everybody talking about hold on.
So everybody's like, yeah, hello. And Bria's like, I mean, basically Simon was just doing the most. Like, we're not even going to get into it. So next, we do a flashback, of course, of Jasmine's journey. And, you know, basically with Jasmine, her journey was she felt like a lot of her friends in the house were not her friends anymore. She was being left out of things, and she really didn't have anybody in the house. And I really did feel that way. I do like Jasmine, and I feel as though there could be some jealousy amongst her friends in that friend group. I don't understand why they were not including her in things, and I didn't like that. And also, too, she announced that she's pregnant because, her and Silas, they're married and they got a baby on the way. So she told everybody. So that was kind of like the flashback, right? So Andy asked a viewer question saying, who's been the least supportive of your pregnancy and after birth? So Jasmine says, I would be lying and say that I'm a little pissed off because of the comments made about Silas pertaining to Jordan. So if you guys don't know, in one of the episodes when Jasmine revealed to the group that she was pregnant, Jordan did a confessional, and she said basically like, oh, I know this is Jasmine's first pregnancy, but I don't know if this is Silas' first pregnancy. I mean, who knows? I don't know his business, but I'm just saying. And I'm like, girl, and this is, yeah, no. How dare you even say that? First of all, you're going to say it publicly on top of that. And you're kind of insinuating as though like Silas got somebody else pregnant before or something, like either trying to put out something that's personal that is true, or you're putting out something that's fake, that's leading viewers to believe something that's not true. And that was wrong. And my thing is, even if y'all not friends anymore, why would you even say something like that? Talking about her pregnancy, a baby. And I just feel, honestly, Jordan is jealous of Jasmine. I'm just going to put it out there. Jordan is jealous of Jasmine, in my opinion, because Jasmine has now got married and is having a family. She can't do the same thing she used to do, kicking it with you in the city like she could. And I feel because you want that, which is nothing wrong with wanting to get married and starting a family, you're not happy for your friend about it. That's my opinion on it. Anyway, y'all, back to the reunion, right? So Jasmine says she says everyone has been copacetic with her, but she talked to Jordan about that comment she made. And she's like, I get you took accountability for what you said, but I need to take accountability for not checking you about this friendship sooner. So I was like, yes, Jasmine, get her, because she's wrong. And I think a lot of times, especially last season, Jasmine was holding back a lot from what she wanted to express to Jordan, because honestly, Jordan has kind of like a nasty attitude. I didn't care for her in season 1 and neither in season 2. She has a very nasty attitude. You can't say nothing to her. It's just she's not warm at all and not friendly. So Jordan says, well, it was just my sense of humor, and I wasn't trying to take a dig at Silas in any kind of way. And, I am really sorry about it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You weren't trying to take a dig at Silas. You don't even like Silas. And that's one of the reasons why you guys' friendship is fractured, because you don't like her husband and you think her husband controls her and all this other foolishness. So Jasmine says to Jordan, did it ever cross your mind to bring it up to me yourself? And so Jordan was like, well, I was just coming from a lighthearted place and it just didn't land well. So Andy asks, well, what I want to know is, what is the actual rift between you guys? Because Jasmine feels like it came out of nowhere. So Summer interjects, I don't know why. Summer interjects and says, well, she turns to Jasmine. She says, well, you and I had a disagreement and we squashed it. But when the Jamaica trip came up, I had asked the group if we should invite you. And Shanice said no. So I think it was in episode 1, Jasmine lets us know, the viewers, that Preston, Shanice, Jordan, and Summer all went on vacation to Jamaica and didn't invite her. She didn't even know anything about it. And so she's like, okay, what's up with that? Like, nobody talks to me anymore. What's the issue? So that's what Summer's talking about. So Jasmine turns to Shanice and she says, do we have an issue? And Shanice says, well, at the time, nobody was getting along with you, really. So Preston and Jasmine start talking, and she turns to Preston. She's like, it's just really hurtful that you didn't even stand up for me as someone who stood in my wedding to even check, are you good with the girls at the very least? I wasn't invited to Jamaica. What's going on? And so her and Preston start talking and they're kind of getting into it. But to me, Preston was making a bunch of excuses. And my thing is just keep it real. You don't like her either. Like, I don't like this tippy-toeing around things. You need to really talk about the issues that you have. So anyway, Andy asks Jordan, why are you really mad at Jasmine? So she says, well, I was more confused because the second we went into the house in season 1, I didn't see the real Jasmine and I felt like she was phony. It's like, I don't know who this person is and you were just trying to play matchmaker, trying to hook me up with Amir, just doing the most. So Jasmine says, I want to address the inauthenticity, and I just feel like when you meet people at a certain time in your life and your life changes, and sometimes it's not always easy for someone else to adjust and keep up with. And I agree. My thing is, I have married friends, I have single friends. I know with my married friends, there's certain things that they can't do anymore. They can't be hanging out all times of the night. They can't do this and that. They have families, they have husbands to go to. Instead of you being supportive of that, like I support my friends who can't really do certain things because, they have families now. You're supposed to be supportive of that and be happy for them. Not sit up here and be like, girl, why can't you do this? You can't hang out with me all night anymore. Like, no, she has a husband and now like she's having a baby on the way. And you have to be happy for them. And to me, Jordan wasn't happy. I felt like she was jealous. And it made it even worse because she didn't even like Jasmine's husband. And that is the issue with her. Like, you need to keep it real. Don't be talking about she was acting different. Yes, Jasmine was annoying with keep trying to push something between Jordan and Amir. But she was just, authentically just saying, like, I just want you to be happy. I know deep down inside, you want to be married. You want a family. And I'm just trying to see maybe this dude who likes you, maybe there could be something there. That's what she was genuinely doing. But to call her phony and say she's acting different. I mean, I don't know Jasmine, but I didn't really see that, especially in season 1. I didn't see that. And she was really quiet season 2, to be honest. So, then Jasmine says, Jordan still sees me there as that girl who's single, always going out with her all the time, but I'm constantly evolving. So Jasmine says, what I want to see from us is for me to continuously check you when I feel like you're being very aggressive and call you out in the moment, and you can do vice versa. So they both agreed to that. So yeah, y'all. So in the next scene, we see a flashback of Nick in the house. And so basically in this season, some of the girls were saying that Nick has been very handsy with him, even though he's in a relationship.
Absolutely not. Not me. Certainly not I.
And when they say handsy, they mean like, kind of touching or like flirting with them. And when I say touching, you know how sometimes some people do this. When they're talking, they like touch you or touch your arm or your hand. It's just a habit. I know people who do it. I don't take offense to it. Some people do. It makes them uncomfortable, whatever. So basically, that's what happened with Nick in the house. And this whole thing blew up out of proportion. So after the flashback ends, Nick says that, it wasn't his intention to be handsy like that with some of the girls in the house. And so Jordan said, it wasn't the fact that you were like being handsy. The issue was, it was because you were in a relationship and you shouldn't be acting like that for being kind of flirtatious with other women when you're in a relationship. So Andy asked Bria, Shanice, and Noelle, and he's like, did you know that Nick had a conversation with Jordan and Summer about this? And so they're like, no, we had no clue. And Noelle says, we thought he was unaware of what he was doing. And when we were talking about it, it was just girl talk. And we weren't even going to bring it back to Tasia. Now, Tasia is Nick's girlfriend. And so, rewind. So just to let y'all know, Noelle, Bria, Shanice, and Natalie, Amir's girlfriend, they all had a conversation one day outside. And they were talking about Nick. saying how he's handsy, he shouldn't be like that and be flirtatious when he has a girlfriend. And Bria talks about like how Nick has been flirtatious with her, and she can't understand why, because you have a whole girlfriend and he would be down to have sex with somebody, you know, if they were down to, even if he's in a relationship. So that's where all the three of them come into play, and Natalie. So Bria's talking to Nick, right? And Bria says, you know, Nick, when you get in a drunken state, it seems like you're down to have sex with someone. So he says, okay, what makes you say that? Because when you asked me, when we were in the house, you asked me to come upstairs and take a nap with you. And he's like, I thought it was a joke, but what you're saying now is that it's something that I would do with you. So Andy asks, you know, are you and Tasia still together? And so Nick says, we're not, because, you know, we have our own goals that we want to accomplish in life. And, you know, after we had a conversation, it just made sense for us to go after those things separately. So yeah, y'all, Nick and Tasia broke up. Yeah. So Andy says, you know, do you feel like you've embarrassed Tasia on TV? And he's like, you know, yeah, I do.
I told you it was a legitimate mistake.
And so Andy says, okay, was the whole you being handsy, did that play a factor? So he's like, I mean, it was part of the conversation, but it wasn't the straw that broke the camel's back.
I don't need no lecture from you, but I have to duck myself in this house.
So Andy asks, when you brought Natalie to the show, did you expect her to be the bone collector? So he asks Amir that, right? Because she's the one that started that whole thing between Shanice, Bria, Noelle, and that whole thing with Nick. And she's the reason of it. And what annoyed the heck out of me is in one of the episodes when all four of them are kind of arguing, here you go see Natalie looking in the background as though she didn't do anything. She's the one that started this whole thing in the first place. And she had no business going up to Tasia saying like, oh, can I talk to you? And trying to start mess. And then I didn't like the fact that she was petting that girl's hair. Like, to me, that's a microaggression. And I don't like that when people who are not black do that to black people, petting their hair. I don't like that, but let me not even get into it. So that's why Andy's asking Amir this, right? So the girls chime in about how Natalie moves, right? So Nick says, you know, I find it very strange that Natalie involves herself into everything. And he thought that Natalie was just coming out to hang out with Amir at the house, but she found herself in some mess. So, of course, Amir starts defending her. And Noelle, she let Amir have it, and I was glad. So Noelle tells Amir, not that I was glad, but she basically had to let him know this is how your girlfriend moves, and she was wrong for what she did. So Noelle tells Amir that your girlfriend was very messy. And then she says, you know, she was spreading lies and involving herself in things that didn't concern her. And she kept asking us, like, should I say something to Tasia? And we were like, no, like, don't even say nothing to her. Like, it wasn't that deep. And the fact that she purposely made sure to include us three, but not include herself in that she was the one that actually carried that rumor and lies. And when it blew up in her face, she was on mute the entire time. And when Noelle said that, it's the scene that I just told y'all about, how when the four of them got into it, and Natalie was just sitting in the background acting and not saying a word, acting like she didn't do anything. That's why Noelle said that. And then Noelle tells me, she's like, she let us be assassinated by a whole rumor that wasn't even our fault. So, yeah, that they talk about that, right? So then Andy asks Summer, do you regret throwing Shanice's name out there as the worst dressed at one of the parties? And Summer says no. So, rewind. In one of the episodes, they were having a party. And so they were asking each other questions. So they were asking, who do you guys think is the worst dressed here? And Summer says, Shanice. So Shanice was really hurt by that because at that time, Shanice was unemployed. She didn't really have money like that. And she couldn't afford to like buy new clothes. And she said Summer knew about her situation and she felt like Summer was trying to take a dig at her, like basically, you don't have no money, you can't even buy nice clothes. And that really hurt Shanice. So that's why Andy's bringing this up. So Summer said no, right? So Shanice says, this is what makes me feel like crap. It's because of the way Summer said it. And she said, the next day, Summer, you came into my room and asked to borrow a sweater. And if you find me the worst dress, don't come to my room. So then Summer starts catching the attitude. She says, well, I know how to pair it and you don't. So, and see, this is the thing, Summer. So you still taking a dig. You sitting up here saying that I wasn't calling Shanice the worst dress to be malicious. But yeah, you're turning around being smart, talking about, well, I can pair the sweater better than you can. So my thing is, which one is it? Because if you genuinely had no malice towards her, not malice, but if you genuinely weren't trying to diss her, that wouldn't even come out of your mouth there. You should have just been like, I'm sorry. I do apologize for that. You would have tried to make it right, not try to come back at her again, even if Shanice did say that. But anyway, so Andy asked Shanice a viewer question, and he states that, you said you get with all these men that have money, these NBA players, but if that's the case, why didn't you get any money from them via Cash App, when you were unemployed? So Shanice makes this excuse, and she's like, well, first of all, I'm just sleeping and dating them. They're not my boyfriend, and I don't date men for money. And so Andy's like, well, do you have a job now? She's like, yes, I do have a job now. And I'm just like, I ain't even going to speak on it. And scene. So yeah, y'all, that was the end of the reunion. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm going to give the reunion episode, I'll give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 7. I don't think it was oh my gosh, it was so, no. It was good, and it wasn't bad at all, but I'm just going to give it a strong 7. You can definitely tell that there are some friends who are not friends anymore. I don't feel like the group is divided, but then it kind of is. I don't know how to say that. I'm going to say this. I don't know how the ratings have been. I heard that they weren't good, but I don't know about this reunion show. And I heard somewhere where the show for season 3 is contingent upon this entire season's ratings and this reunion special. So we'll see. I don't like how Bravo tried to play them out by putting them in the clubhouse, and it looks so tight too at the reunion. I didn't like that. I do like the questions that were being asked because it really was addressed. So that I really do like. I don't know where we go from here with Summer House. I mean, tell me guys down below, what did you think of the season, if you even watched it? Do you like the show? I like the show. I mean, I felt like season 2 was definitely better than season 1. I'll say that. But I mean, it was cool. But yeah, y'all, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another one of my recaps. I just wanted to give y'all this reunion special because I'm like, okay, I want to talk about the reunion, right? And it was cool or whatever. It was a little key. But definitely, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can be informed whenever I upload a new video. Also, too, comment below. Of course, tell me your thoughts on this reunion special. What did you like? What didn't you like? Did you feel like the questions that were asked were pretty good? I thought they were. And yeah, do you guys see yourself watching season 3? If there is a season 3, I will. I'm going to support them, of course. Yeah, just let me know down below. But as always, guys, before you go, I'd love to say a prayer for you. And so here it goes. So may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you his peace and protection. This is my prayer over your life in Jesus' name. Amen. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in my next recap. And yeah. Bye.